Okay, what they're asking me to do now is, we've already got this part done. This is fine, and now we're moving on to this stuff. They want me to show that I can that this is true. By the way, after I show it's true, they want me to find the three roots of it. Find the three roots. I'm sorry, not the three roots. The three values of s squared. All right. Okay. Well, you know what? I think finding the values of s squared is going to be easier than showing this. But let's go through this then. So I'm going to say let u equal s squared. So you would get u minus 10 squared plus, by the way, we're trying to find this. So really we're trying to find u. Plus 8 u minus 144 is equal to 0. Let's take a look. Looks like a third degree polynomial. So yeah, we're going to find, hopefully find three solutions to this over here. So u squared minus 20u plus 100 plus 8u minus 144 equals 0. What do you get there? You get u cubed minus 20u squared plus 100u plus 8u minus 144 equals 0. Ah, boy, that looks tough, doesn't it? U cubed minus 20u squared plus 108u minus 144 equals 0. Here comes the tough part. I got to find a solution to the problem, by the way. And looking at it, it's a third degree polynomial, right? And I'm looking at this thing over here. This can be tough, isn't it? You may, let me see. Cubic problem. I guess I could use the rational root theorem. Yeah, you know what? Let's try the rational root theorem on it. And really basically what I'm doing is looking at the factors of 144. And I'm going to say over here, like, I don't know. You could do 1 and 144, right? You could do 2 and then 72. Let me just try 2 right from the get-go. All right, let me try 2. So the reason it's a possibility. So you get 8 minus, I'm trying it, by the way. I'm trying 2. But you could also try minus 2, too. I'm not saying you can't. So 2 squared would be 4. That would be 80. Then you're going to get, well, 108 times 2 is going to be 216. And then minus 144. Let me see what happens over here. And kind of adding it together, 8 and 216 is 224. And then these two numbers together, let's see, 144 and 80, you get 4. 8 and 4 is 12. Look at that, 224. By luck, I got it, all right? So what do you get over here? I know how to factor this guy at this point, and it's going to be factored like this. It's going to be u. I know a root is 2, by the way. It's going to be minus 2. Let me look at this over here. I'm going to try to make a stab at it. All right, let me erase this over here, my baby work. I'm also going to erase this over here. That I don't need that anymore. I know u minus 2 is a factor now. So let me keep going. So I'm going to say u squared. And then over here, I'm going to say this would have to be 70, let's see, 72, right? This is equal to 0. I don't know this yet. I don't know that. There's many ways to get it. But I'm going to say I don't know what it is. I'm going to try to figure it out. All right, let me get my eraser out. And I'm going to say it's going to be plus, I'm going to say AU. And then it's going to be plus 72. Let's multiply it out. What do you get? You get u cubed plus AU squared, let's see, plus 72U. Let me keep going. Minus 2U squared, minus 2AU, and then minus 144. Well, I just want to point out, these things are matching up. These things are matching up. But I got to equate coefficients now, and it doesn't look that bad to do. So I'm going to say that that A minus 2 must equal minus 20. And also, I need 72 minus 2A must equal 108. All right, let's see if we can do that. So A over here is going to be minus 18. Let's just verify it over here that that's true too, by the way. You can get 72, and minus 2 times minus 18 is plus, and that's going to be 36, which is 108. So I have it factored now. And let me write this down for you. So it's U minus 2 times, let's see, U squared. The A is minus 18, so minus 18U, and then plus 72. And that equals 0. All right? Again, it's a question it's a bigger question, but another question is, can I factor that? And I think so. And let me put this down now for you. So U minus 2, and you get U. Let's give it a shot, by the way. U. And I'm looking at 72, and it looks to me like 6 and 12. And so I think I know what my U is. The U can be 2, the U can be 6, and the U can be 12. Now, what was our question? Actually, I just did one part of the question. What's the S squared? And I found it. What's the S squared going to be? The S squared here is going to be equal to U. So the S squared could be equal these three numbers over here. And we just did it, right? 2, 6, and 12. All right, that's done. All right. Now, I want to go back and say that they asked me to do something else, by the way. And this is the part where, you might say, I can't remember what they did. But they want me to use what we just derived, by the way. So we just derived, I want to remind you this, we just derived that f of x as a given was x4 minus, by the way, I should box this answer over here. This is what they want me to come up with. We did that, all right? So we have to go to the next part of the question, which is that to derive something from something. And this is Sx plus P. We've already verified that this is true, by the way. And that x squared minus Sx plus Q. And this was equal to f of x, which was x4 minus 10x squared. Let's see, plus 12x, and then minus 2. All right. So what I'm doing now, it's not easy, by the way. I have to multiply it out, and then I have to equate coefficients, and I got to figure out if I can derive this thing first. But let me multiply it out for you. And f of x, well, it's going to be x4. I'm distributing the x4 across the three terms, by the way, minus s. You know what? I made a mistake there. I just noticed it. That's not 4, it's 2. Let me go back. So x4, and next thing's going to be, let's see, minus s x cubed, and then plus q x squared. Then I'm going to do this guy over here, and what do you get? You're going to get, you know what? I copied wrong again, and I just noticed it because it's not going to give me what I wanted. And again, we said that this is plus over here. Sorry about that, all right? So I cleaned it up. And again, I was working from memory, by the way, but we just showed this before, by the way. All right, let's keep going. So you're going to get plus sx cubed. By the way, you may wonder why I know I made a mistake, because it wasn't summing to 0, and there is no cubic term. It's got to sum to 0. That's why I knew it was a mistake, by the way. Then minus s squared, x squared, and then it's going to be plus s q x. That's done. Let's do the p now. What do you get? px squared, and then you can get minus psx, and then you get pq. Okay, so this cancels off. That's good news. Let me get my little red pen out and highlight things for you. And so I'm going to say, this is matching that. And I'm looking at the other things, so I'm going to say PQ must match this over here. So I'm going to write that down for you. And so PQ better be equal to minus 2, by the way. So PQ better be equal to minus 2. All right? So that's done. Now, next one's going to be, I'm looking at the linear term. So I'm going to say, I'm looking at this. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm looking at this, and this. And I'm going to equate the coefficients now. So I'm looking at that, and they both have an s involved. So I'm going to say it's s times q minus p. And that should equal 12. All right, that's done. Now, the next thing I'm looking at are these three terms, and they better sum with the minus 10. The coefficients, by the way. So let's write that down. And that's going to be, let's see, s squared. No, I'm sorry, p plus q minus s squared equals minus 10. All right, so I got some things here, and I'm wondering, how can I get what they want me to show, right? They want me to use this stuff over here to show. So I'm going to try to get this thing to produce this over here. S squared minus 10 squared plus 8s squared minus 144 is equal to 0. So I need to use this. Doesn't look possible, does it? To get this. All right? So we need to follow this in that direction. So the first thing I'm going to be looking at is, I'm going to be looking for things, well, I don't know. Let's take a look at something. And what I'm going to do, there's a lot of squares in the problem, so I'm going to start to square things. All right? So what are you going to square first? I don't know. I guess, let me try to square this guy over here. All right? I'll write these things down for you too. So if you squared that, what do you get? You would get s squared. You would get q squared plus p squared minus 2pq is equal to 144. Now, what else do I know? I know that s squared, q squared plus p squared, and minus 2pq, well, if pq is minus 2, that's going to be plus 4. And that equals 144. All right? Let me stop for a moment and think. Well, then I'm okay with that. And then, I don't know, I guess I'm seeing another square in the problem. I'm seeing this over here, right? I'm just going to write down p plus q from that guy. So p plus q would equal s squared minus 10. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to square that guy. And what would you get up there? You get p squared plus q squared plus 2pq equals, well, I don't know if I want to square that, but I'll write it down for you. S squared minus 10 squared. You may wonder why I don't want to square that. I'm actually seeing it in the problem, right? But what do I see over here? You see p squared plus q squared, and then the 2pq, remember pq is minus 2, this would be minus 4, and that equals s squared minus 10 quantity squared. All right, let me start thinking. Now, I'm wondering, is this going in the direction I want? And I'm kind of looking at it, and I got to think now. So let's talk about things that I'm looking at. And I'm looking at the p squared plus q squared minus 4 equals the s squared minus 10 squared. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. All right, and someone says, why are you doing that? I'm seeing the 8 in the problem. I want to see if this helps me. So p squared plus q squared. If you add 8, this would be plus 4. And by the way, I do see that. All right, I do see that. And this is going to be s squared minus 10 quantity squared. And I added 8, right? So I put plus 8 down. I guess the next thing I can do is multiply both sides by s squared, right? Let's put that down. So s squared, p squared, plus q squared, plus 4 equals, I'm getting close, aren't I? So this is going to be s squared minus 10 squared plus 8s squared. Now let me remind myself of something over here. I'm going back, and I know something. I know that, and where is that? I'll look at this. P squared plus q squared plus 4 s squared. Oh, I know this thing is right over here. All right? So let's write that down. It's 144, isn't it? Let me get my pen out. Sorry about that. I just screwed up a little bit. This is 144 equals s squared minus 10 squared plus 8s squared. And now I think I can write this down now. So 0 equals s squared minus 10 squared plus 8s squared minus 144. Now, barring made some errors, I want to go back and look at the thing if we were able to derive what they said. I'm actually looking at the paper now, the question. And what is it? We just showed what we wanted to show. And what is that? We wanted to show that, s squared times s squared minus 10 squared plus 8s squared minus 144 is equal to 0. Do we know the roots of this thing? We do. What do we know? We know s squared has the 3 following roots. And I want to remind you we got that before, by the way. Let's scroll back up here. 2, 6, and 12. I'm going to put this over here. 2, 6, and 12. And again, we're going through a series of questions. I know it's a very long question. What do? We showed this, and we found this. And we'll go on to the next question next. Thank you.